Hi there, what do you think of the footage?
Yeah, it is horrible.
Horrible.
Yeah, no, I do. I mean, I eat a little bit of meat, so because, like, I don't know, I sometimes need like the iron, so to eat meat and stuff. So I sometimes eat. Also, it's cheaper, and like so I haven't got very much money. And like a hamburger's like £4 for like vegetarian products. So I don't eat it very much. But what I'm just saying is that what I was just thinking the other day is that there's like so many like chicken shops. Like there's like loads of like chicken shops and like selling chicken burgers and stuff. And I know that there's like chicken wings, chicken nuggets, and all this. And there's just like all the amount of chickens that you have to kill. And you just think, oh no, they're just scraggy old birds and stuff, and you can just kill them and eat them for your chicken. But there's like millions of hamburgers that are being eaten. So I did sort of wonder, like that really did annoy me, because I sort of know that they really need to cut down on the number of chicken shops that are open, and that would really help a lot for like the number of chickens being killed and things.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, for each individual chicken, it doesn't matter, because let's say, for example, that everybody only ate one chicken every year, right? For the one chicken that is being eaten, they don't suffer less. They're still killed in the same way. And go back to what you said about the price thing. So the cheapest things in the supermarket is the rice, the lentils, the pasta. The cheapest things are all vegan. So when you go vegan, because I was worried about this too before I was vegan. I didn't think that I'd be able to afford it, but then it turned out that I actually probably spend around about the same amount, because you control your budget and you can eat cheap as a vegan, or you can eat expensive as a vegan, and it depends what you buy and how you spend your money. You could go cheap with rice and pasta and legumes and beans, or you could go expensive with the meat substitutes and the fake cheeses and things like that. But yeah, and
no, it's just, I mean, I know it does help. I know, like, you say, like even one person turning vegan can make a huge difference. So that,
to the animals, yeah,
it's really important. But I mean, some of the like factory farming is just really needs to do something about it. I mean, it just gets ridiculous that sometimes it seems to like reach peaks of like you seem to see a lot of like animal abuse cases. And then it peters down a bit, and you feel like you're sort of getting somewhere. And I just think that I don't know. Sometimes you think that the animal abuse cases that are sort of reported are sometimes a good sign, because it's sort of showing people that what's happened. There are some, it just seems like it just
to me
it's just really, it seems a lot worse than it used to be, like a factory farming. I mean, we always used to talk about factory farming.
I mean, it's happening in greater numbers. The practices have always been pretty much consistent, but it's happening in greater numbers because of the demands, like you say. But yeah, I mean, to me, it's all abuse. We're killing animals unnecessary when we could just pick up something else. You mentioned the iron, but every nutrient that our body needs can be found in plants. We could eat plant-based and sustain ourselves.
I don't like it really when you see the pictures of the people taking photos, because I think like sometimes what can you just buy the animal? Like, it's very sad, but you think sometimes people take the photos, and I think sort of for one, that sort of content shouldn't be put on the web, because it is just so disgusting. It's really, really actually like traumatizing, and I think like sometimes it's less positive. You could put positive cases on, like seeing a picture of someone hugging a little piglet. It's actually a bit more like helpful than seeing someone like slitting a piglet's throat or whatever.
I would actually disagree with that, because let me tell you why, right? Because when you see what it is that you're actually supporting, what you're paying for with your money, you can do something about it. You can say, right, I'm not going to pay for that. So this is how pigs are killed in the UK, in a gas chamber. They're gassed to death, and that's 85% of pigs. And this is, by the RSPCA, considered the most humane way to kill a pig. They scream and they thrash. And when you talk about conditions, welfare conditions, they're never going to get better, because the reason that they do this is for money, for profit. So where profit is concerned, animals will always come second, always. And the only way to not be part of this is to go vegan. And when you're vegan, nobody will be suffering because of you, and you can be sure of that. But when you're not vegan, when you're just looking at, you know, a packet and trying to figure out, you know, they put these labels on like humane, organic, free range. It's just marketing to ease our conscience.
I mean, what I'm saying is, I mean, like, what you could actually do, instead of taking the pictures, you could actually try to buy the animal. You know, I mean, I don't like, if all of the people sort of, I mean, because, you know, you sort of say, you know, what use are animals? And obviously, you know, this planet isn't ours, the animals aren't ours to eat. You know, they're not our food, so we shouldn't actually be keeping them in farms and eating them at all. Because they're actually, you know, not really our food.
I mean, some animals are rescued.
You know, what I'm just saying is that, you know, I just think that you can buy the animals, and you could actually, you know, and also there is a chance that there might, you know, you could sort of lessen the population and give sort of the animals sort of, you know, neutralization drugs to stop them having children, especially in the cases of hens and cows. You know, I mean, I'm not saying you could put something accidentally in the water, but people could do that sort of thing.
Do you know that
there's so much that could be done, you know, to stop, you know, I mean, I'm not saying, you know, like, it's horrible to say, you know, blow up a factory or something like that, so all the pigs like get burnt to death and scorched and stuff like that, and die like in a horrible bomb blast. But if you did that, then they wouldn't be able to do that, so the pig is dead, and it's, you know, one pig in a whole generation of pigs has to suffer by being blown to pieces. But just to say that I don't really sort of agree with that, and, you know, if you keep doing it, I'll keep blowing up your farms or setting fire to your farms. So you don't have a factory anymore, and you can't have. So why can't you do in this like time period, you know, over say 10 years, have done that? I mean, I don't say that, you know, arson is a bad thing, but it's not that difficult to actually, you know, light a few sort of pieces of newspaper. You know,
I mean, the thing is that we're trying to promote anti-violence. So you're saying fire with fire?
I mean, it would be sort of, you know, I mean, either you would have to sort of, you know, break into a place a little bit and perhaps, you know, free the animals at one point. I mean, there has to be a certain amount of, you know, force used to save the animals.
I mean, we can't rescue them all, right? And I think that the optimum thing would be for them to not be bred into existence. So they don't just breed themselves. The reason that they exist is because they've been forcibly impregnated by the farmers so that they have babies, and then their babies are exploited. But if we stop paying for it, do you know about supply and demand? Because if we stop buying them, then they stop breeding them, and then less and less of them exist. So the more vegans there are, the less animals that are being bred, until there's none of them at all. So then they won't suffer. And you can be a part of that by changing today, becoming vegan, and not supporting it.
I will.
Right, let me give you a card before you go. Honestly, it would be the best thing you do. The number one benefit of going vegan. So for the animals, they won't be suffering because of you, and for you, you won't be a hypocrite because you won't be paying for something you're against.
Okay. All right, thank you.
All right, no worries. Take care.
You showed the worst case scenario, don't you?
I mean, what do you think the best case scenario is? Because at the end of the day, they all get killed. How can you show that in a nice way? If you're against dog fighting, you should be against this.